Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ready, Set, Replay, the ultimate video game replay podcast. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend Skyler.
What's up, what's up?
And this week, we're going to hell, baby.
Oh my god, we have to go back in time and then to hell?
Yeah, we do. We gotta leave hell to go back in time to go to hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Today, we're playing Diablo 2. We're talking about Diablo 2. But of course, we gotta go back.
Hit me with the rewind.
Whoa. Skyler, once more, it's tomorrow.
Oh.
For like the third game in a row. This one came out the day after our previous game. It is now Wednesday, June.
No pun intended. This has been a hell of a summer.
Has been a crazy week. It is Wednesday, June 28th of the year 2000. And wouldn't you know it, not a lot has changed since yesterday, but there's a couple of interesting things. Number one, in the world of the music, our top 5 looks like this. Number 1 is Be With You by Enrique Iglesias. Number 2 is Try Again by Aaliyah. Number 3 is Everything You Want by Vertical Horizons. Number 4 is The Real Slim Shady by Eminem. And 5 is Breathe by Faith Hill. But over in the UK, apparently, number 1 is The Real Slim Shady by Eminem.
Heck yeah.
I did get slightly contradicting information on that, where one website said that number 1 was Spinning Around by Kylie Minogue, but then 2 other websites said it was Real Slim Shady. So I don't know, man. The internet's crazy.
So Kylie is obviously a British star. So obviously she'd be high in the ranks over there. But as far as if you take away that and count all the stuff that really matters, which is stuff that comes out from our country, then yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, America.
Of course it's Slim Shady.
In the world of movies, we got a new one.
Oh, what is it?
It is The Patriot from Sony Pictures.
Oh, okay. I actually haven't seen that one, but it's Mel Gibson.
It is Mel Gibson and Heath Ledger doing Patriot type colonial Revolutionary War type junk. It's just Mel Gibson playing the role he was always born to play, white savior.
American hero, this Australian-born man.
This Australian man who is also Jesus sometimes.
No, he just makes Jesus movies. He doesn't play Jesus.
Did he not play Jesus in that movie?
No, that was a different, maybe racist guy.
Oh. Well, I'm glad that we're collecting all the maybe racist people in one maybe place.
Yeah.
The Patriot is number 1 in the box office on account of it just came out and everything else was like kind of middling at that point. But number 2 is still Me, Myself, and Irene, followed by Gone in 60 Seconds, Big Mama's House still hanging on, and Mission Impossible 2 right at the bottom of the track.
Wow, what a there's a couple of heaters in there.
We must be like not quite at the time when the summer blockbusters come out, because we had a couple of big ones. Don't get me wrong. Gladiator came out like a minute ago, though. That wasn't even summer. That might have been December the previous year. I don't actually remember. But
I'm pretty sure Mission Impossible 2 is going to be like one of the highest grossing movies of the year.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe not the one, but it's going to be up there.
Also, today, do you remember a couple of however many weeks ago we talked about the custody crisis over a Cuban baby called Elian Gonzalez?
Right. I remember this Cuban custody crisis.
So our Cuban custody crisis resolved today. I think we already talked about what happened. But today is the day that they sent little baby boy Elian Gonzalez back to Cuba to be with his father, who he didn't really want to be with, but whatever.
Okay. I'm not going to... It's an ending, and it's enough.
It's an ending. And the boy survived, and then got a job.
Oh, good.
I don't know. He's living a life.
Yeah. He might be doing better than us.
Is a strong possibility.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, the only other thing that I have on here, because we're back to back on days, is today, on the release of Diablo 2, is also the 29th birthday of the soon-to-be richest man on the world, Elon Musk.
Ooh.
Yeah, not a great day.
Gross. I bet he wishes his birthday was on the Deus Ex release date.
Missed it by just a couple.
But instead it's on Diablo, which is great because he's probably going to hell, right?
He's 100% he's going to hell.
Yeah, certainly,
Yeah.
certainly.
So, has that gotten you into the right headspace to talk about Diablo 2?
Elon Musk and Cuban babies. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're about there.
It's about the right space here. So, Skylar, Diablo 2, for anyone who doesn't know in the audience, a very historically relevant game. It is the Diablo game that really put that franchise on the map. It is a I want to say CRPG, but it's really more of like a looter slasher type game. So
Mhm.
it's an isometric view, so the camera is above you, and you're running around and stabbing things forever. Where the seemingly core gameplay loop is kill things so number go up, so you kill thing better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It was described to me before playing it as the dungeon crawler to end all dungeon crawlers.
Well, how do you feel about it? Do you agree with Dungeon Crawler of all dungeon crawlers?
So this is my first time playing any Diablo game. Obviously, I knew of Diablo because I was a World of Warcraft kid, so I was in the Blizzard household. So, but I never dipped my toes in. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. That's the next door neighbor. They do Diablo things. There's a demon or something. Who knows? And having never played any Diablo game, this being my first one, I skipped the first one. So you know, had to had to assume that Diablo was a big demon, which it turns out he is.
Turns out.
So yeah, we're on the same page there. I did have fun playing this. This was cool.
It's,
This was
yeah.
I like Blizzard has good atmosphere in their games of this era. So I enjoyed playing this. What do you have to say about it?
I
More.
agree. It's so this is one of those games where like it's got a really weird history, and the guy who made it has an even weirder one, and we'll talk about all of that in a minute
Oh,
here.
I don't know about any of that. Yeah.
Um, so there's some fun stories surrounding it. The game itself, it's much like you. This was my first time playing any Diablo game. I've been
Hmm.
sort of like around them. I know people who really enjoy them.
Hmm.
And I played this, and I pretty much played straight through the story of it in a couple of days, and was like, okay, yeah, that was a video game. Like I'm
Hmm.
not coming away with this, I think, overwhelmingly positive. I think that it does the thing that it does pretty well. And then it does nothing else. I think it is a very simplistic video game when you really look at it.
It is,
Um,
yeah. It's a straight line, more or
yeah,
less.
it's worth saying, did not play the original version of this. We played the resurrected version because that is
Yeah.
the version that is easiest to get today. It's largely the same game. They just cleaned up a couple of little quality of life things, and obviously the graphics. Um,
Yeah, as far as I can tell, they just, the cinematics are a hell of a lot prettier.
they
I
are way
did
but nicer. Yeah.
look up because obviously I was like, this looks amazing. I wonder what it looked like originally. And then the answer is, oh, a little jankier, a little sillier, a little worse, but it was still very charming. I'm sure if you're a kid playing Diablo in 2000, it's the coolest thing you've ever seen.
Right.
And if you saw what the when did this come out? The re-release version, the
Oh,
2021,
yeah, I should have written that down, but I didn't.
2022, something
Yeah.
like that. 20 years later, we'll say 20 plus years later.
At least, yeah.
If you're a 2000 kid and you see what the future holds, you would die.
Yeah, probably.
It would kill you. Like a small Victorian child trying to eat hot Cheetos, you would just simply not be able
It's
to
too much
survive
fun.
it.
Ooh, spices from the Orient.
So, yeah, cool. And I'm sure that there's certain things where they took out glitches or bugs or
Yeah.
jank crap, but it just made my
Evidently,
my
the
time
original version
playing
of
it
this
easier.
did not run great.
Oh,
I didn't run into any performance issues, maybe a little bit of frame droppage, but not really anything of note. So yeah, they definitely cleaned up some of that. But the bigger difference between the version that we played and the version that was available in June of 2000 is that we also played the expansion.
that is
So
true.
with Resurrected, we also played I believe it's called Lord of Destruction, which is or
Yeah,
Lords possibly of Destruction.
I think it's just Lord because it's
It's
just the
just the
one
one
guy.
guy, but for some reason in my head it's Lords, and I don't. It's not, but if I don't worry about it.
Mm,
Which adds, first of all, came out almost exactly a year later. Came out June 29th of the year 2001.
mm-hmm.
It adds a fifth act to the story in which you track down one of the guys who gets away at the end. It adds two new classes, the assassin and the druid.
Oh,
It adds the ability. It adds runes and the ability to craft rune words.
oh, the runes are from the expansion.
That's bonus content, baby.
Interesting.
It added the ethereal items. So there's weapons and armor that you can pick up every so often that's like translucent and you
Mm,
can't repair it, but it is
mm,
until it breaks a little bit nicer. It adds charms, which didn't exist. Those are the things that you can pick up and just keep in your inventory. They give you like a little tiny boost.
sure.
It added class specific items. So things where you pick it up and it's like, you can't use that because you're not a paladin.
Oh, neat.
Set items. So things that when you pick them up, it'll say like, this is part of a set. So there's a helmet and a armor and a shield that goes with this or whatever.
Oh, wow.
They added the secondary loadout so you could switch to like a ranged weapon or a different weapon if you wanted.
Hot dang.
They added a bunch of new items and crafting recipes and stuff like that. And possibly the biggest mechanical change that they made was to hirelings. So your hirelings, which is mercenaries, basically just a guy that follows you around throughout the campaign.
Yeah.
Now they can actually follow you to different acts. Previously, they were locked to the act in which you get them. They added the ability to give them equipment, so you can make them a little bit stronger. They can be healed with potions, which I don't think I ever did. And they can be resurrected when killed. So previously, every time a mercenary died, they were just dead.
Oh, crap. Well,
Definitely,
I mean,
definitely made use of that one.
I guess you could just like hire a new one.
Yeah, they're functionally
Um,
identical. So
and I think sometimes hiring new ones was cheaper than resurrecting.
I'm sure that that's true. Yeah,
But yeah, I had some people die on me.
I had more than a few people die on me. This game is interesting in that it has a story that I
Hmm.
feel does not like really show itself to you very well. Um,
Not as your player character.
no, for certainly not. No.
As your player character, you meet other characters that say, "There's some bad shit happening here, so you need to run out there and find a thing to go to a thing, open this thing, and then fight the guy." Like, bet, cool. That's all I need. Like, sure, I'm on it. And then the actual story is told to you through those big cutscenes, like in between acts and everything. But also, it doesn't really go. I'm gonna offend some people probably. To me, it didn't really go that much deeper than there is a demon that we need to stop.
Yeah, I think that's
Uh,
100% true.
yeah.
The sort of overarching story of this game is that in the first game you killed Diablo, sort of.
Hmm.
But he is now possessing a person called the Dark Wanderer, who I guess he was entrapped in the events of the first game as a way to like keep him from resurrecting.
Cool.
But that is not working anymore. So he is him trapped in this body of a human, which is lore relevant. We'll get to that later. He is going around and trying to free his two brothers, who are God Baal and what was the other one's name? I wrote it down. Mephisto.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
Mephisto.
so that he can, I don't know, do evil demon things. It's never really made clear. He just seemingly wants to destroy the world. But I don't know. His actual specific motivations, I guess, are quite
Yeah,
limited.
I believe it.
But in doing so, you end up wandering through a bunch of fun different locations. I do like that each one is like a completely different culture. Although I think
Hmm.
the Act 5 culture is like, oh, okay, we're just back here. Because in the first one you're like kind of in a forest, like maybe an English sort of like countryside forest.
Yeah.
Um,
It
Act
reminded me
2,
of the undead starting area in World of Warcraft.
yeah, that's a good point actually. And then Act 2 you're in like basically Egypt, I guess. I think there's like scarabs and shit, so I have to assume that that's
Yeah.
the idea.
Sand, desert, culture, bugs.
In Act 3, you go to a place called Karast, which is clearly supposed to be like the Mayan Empire or something, because they're doing like
Right.
nonstop human sacrifice, and it's all like square pyramids and junk.
Hmm.
And then you go to Hell. and a mountain.
Yes.
Act 4 is just on a
Yes.
mountain where big boys live.
Yeah,
Act 5,
the,
yeah.
the Act 5 barbarian place does seem the most, I don't want to say out of place, but kind of out of order. Once you go to hell,
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to a mountain seems like a step backwards.
Which, granted, like it is DLC, so it's like an additional thing afterwards.
Sure. I did
So,
think it was cool that the that act was essentially the balls demons from hell like declaring war on this one specific place. I don't know why they wanted in there. I wasn't really listening, I guess. But the barbarian culture whose their whole thing is to guard this big ass door or wall or
Big Rock,
something.
I think it's called
Yeah,
the
they're
World
like,
Stone.
yeah, we're like, we can't let him in here, so you go and you're helping the barbarians fight off the demons and then
Right.
kill Ball. That was cool. It just did seem a little out of place.
Yeah, I think that was cool because when you get to that area, the barbarians are actually like running around a little bit, and you can help them out, and they'll
Mhm.
like help you fight in certain areas. And I think that's cool. That is definitely a neat thing.
It did feel like
Uh,
an actual battle war thing going on.
yeah, but definitely like from a visual standpoint, you're like, okay, well, we were in like a cool jungle, and we were in like
Hmm.
Egypt desert, and now we're in a mountain.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit of a step back, I feel, but I think it's like supposed to be when you get to the top of it and it's all like temples and stuff. I feel like it's supposed to be the Himalayas or something. Like it feels the structures of the temples up at the top
I
feel
feel that.
very like Tibet, Nepal type. I don't know that for a fact. I tried looking it up and it seemed like the inspiration for that area was not 100% clear. Like some people
Mm-hmm.
agreed with me and other people didn't. So who's to
Mm-hmm.
say? But it's definitely interesting. Definitely a lot of like I love that it did not that each act felt like a very different area. It wasn't,
Yeah.
you're in the same place the whole time. I think that that really helps freshen it up because and that's very important because the gameplay for me didn't really evolve much the whole game.
No, it didn't. Especially, and we'll get into it about uh depending on your class. I
Yeah,
played paladin and you played druid.
I was a druid.
Both of those kind of at certain points turned into let the magic do the work.
Yeah, it seems like that's fairly common.
Okay.
Because when you're, I mean, explain yours first, and then we'll talk about some of the other ones, I guess.
Right. So initially I the way I started to build my character was around this I don't remember what it's called, but it's like this holy blast you do, where you just like shoot this like holy light forward, and I was like, okay, this is the OP move because it was killing everything in one hit, basically. So I'm just gonna like level that up a bunch. And then I got to the second area, and it just didn't work anymore at all because
Right.
what it is it's like only good against undead, which the first area is like all undead for the most part, I guess. Maybe entirely all undead. Um, but then you get to the second part, and then there's just cat people and bugs, and they're not undead, so it just doesn't work. I'm like, okay, I'm screwed. So I actually ended up going back to the lady in the first act that she'll let you like completely reset your skills and stats and everything. So I just kind of like respect. You can only do it once, so I had to be very careful.
Right.
Um
Which is crazy.
and
That feels like a
and
thing
I
that they should have changed in the remake.
yeah, I looked into it and I was like, okay, this seems the right way to go. What you need to do as a paladin is really work on something called Holy Fire, which is an aura that anybody that comes around you every second to 2 seconds is going to just chip away damage, being lit on fire by your paladin awesomeness,
Mm.
by your paladin stank. They're going to take damage, and the more you power that up, obviously you're just like running around areas, and dudes run into the screen to get to you, and then they just drop dead before they can get to you. And then anyone who dares get to you, like get close enough to actually hit you, your hireling is gonna like come cut his head off or whatever. So that's a good chunk of what the combat was. Eventually, you do get to a point where things are really strong, so that's not really the case. So you do have to balance that out with making sure that you can do damage with your actual weapon. But
Okay.
other than that, that was my my three main way of hurting things was my holy fire aura, smacking them with my sword, or occasionally blasting dudes with the projectile thing. But again, only on undead.
Mm.
Um, and then my hireling would clean up the rest. I did hire one hireling for each area. I mean, obviously, I had dudes come with me surviving like each act, but I was like, oh, I want to have the new guy because they're all different. Like the first
Yeah.
area, you get this mercenary lady with a bow and arrow, and then the second area, you get a dude with a spear.
Yeah.
Third one, just another paladin who's like, I think,
Basically,
sword and
he's
shield, if I remember correctly.
he's like a sword mage, so he has a sword in one hand, but then he's casting with the other hand. Maybe you can give him a
Gotcha.
shield. I didn't. Mine didn't have one.
Uh, then the fourth one, I don't remember the fourth one, but there was a fourth one.
Like in hell.
Yeah,
I don't remember getting. I don't think I got whichever
I could have
hireling was in
sworn
hell.
there.
You
Maybe
you
there's
get the
not,
barbarian
but you do
in
get a you do get a barbarian in
in
the
5.
mountains.
Yeah.
Um,
But I didn't
and
like
they're
the
just
barbarian, so I
tanky.
went back to my guy,
The
the caster.
yeah,
He
he
just
was definitely the
complimented me
best one.
better. Yeah.
He was definitely the best one. So the way it worked really well. My paladin stink, as we'll call it. It worked really well until around Act 4. My fight against Diablo devolved into me running away from him until I've chipped away some damage, and then he caught me and killed me, and then I just
Mhm.
ran back in and just started over. Because luckily, the boss fights don't reset their health. At least they don't in the offline play, which I was doing
Right.
at least.
They
Um,
For me it reset once, but only because I I think at least I traveled back to a previous act and then came back. So I think that
see,
reset it.
I'm glad you said that because
Yeah.
I didn't do that, but I had that fear. I
Yeah.
think it was during the. I don't think it was the Diablo fight. It was the ball fight where I was totally screwed at one point. And then I was like, I could go back and get my mercenary, but what if leaving makes everything reset?
It does.
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I didn't. Um, and my fear was justified, turns out. But yeah, I killed Diablo by running around like an absolute coward, and
Was
I
that the
was able
hardest fight in
to.
the game for you? Because I think it was for me.
No, technically it should have been. It was the hardest boss fight. Diablo as a boss fight is harder than Ball, but the hardest encounter for me throughout the entire game was when Ball summons his super minions right before you fight him.
Oh,
Like I was dead stopped there, thinking like, "Oh my god, I
this
don't
is
think I
where I
can beat
die.
this game." Yeah, legitimately, because
Were they
like
not undead or something? They like weren't affected by your shit?
they. So I don't know if I don't actually know why. I didn't look it up, but my holy fire aura wasn't hurting them.
Like at all.
Period. So like
That's bad.
running I think it was, but something about it, I don't know if it's because it was quote unquote fire, if it was also healing them. So I would be running around
Do
for
they get
like
healed by fire?
I don't know. I do not know the answer to that. But like they were definitely getting their health back from something I was doing.
Oh.
And so what I ended up doing, it was a real great ending to my story arc of being a coward and just running away and letting my magic kill things, is I did have to turn and fight and pray that I could only go up against one at a time. I had my barbarian dude like distract one while I wailed on another, and slowly chipped his damage down. Then once I killed one, I was able to team up with the barbarian on the second one, and then able to handle him. Once you get them so that it's like you're fighting one at a time, it's
Mhm.
much more manageable. But like if you're
Yeah, for
fighting
sure.
two at a time, they're gonna tear through you
Well, he
immediately.
summons what, like 6 or something?
I I don't remember how many it is. It's definitely somewhere around there. And then they chase you wherever you try to go. I So trying to run away from them, I kind of like left them pocketed all throughout that area. Whereas like two were in the area with Ball, two like ran into the hallways throughout the
Oh.
area, and then the two that I was stuck fighting forever were right by the entrance to that area, the door. So like you would run in the door, and they're already hitting
They're
you.
just on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that sucks.
there was actually a point where I was like trying to get corral them all back in a different area away from the door where I just ran past them and they all chased me back into the area with Ball. And like I got on the platform that, Ball's just standing there, unable to be hurt, summoning dudes laughing at you.
He sucks. I hate his ass.
And running up there was an absolute mistake because then they trapped me there and you can't get past them, so I just die. And then every time
Right.
you die, you drop your
You
gear, so
drop
the
all your
gear is
gear,
stuck.
which sucks, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't understand why that's a mechanic in this game. I feel like it doesn't make sense for the game that we're playing.
It's
Like,
fairly crippling too in certain
yeah.
areas.
Well, because the whole game is a loot grind. So having you
Yeah.
drop all of your loot when you die, and then having to go and like do a Dark Souls-esque corpse run to get it back is like, what's the point?
I guess
Like,
they
why bother?
expect you to keep like backup loot in your chest. Be like, well, I just lost everything, but luckily I have more everything.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
that's
I never
that's
did
not
that.
fun.
I would just run
No,
past and pick up my shit.
I ran past everybody naked and prayed to find my stuff,
Right. Yeah.
and I always did, luckily. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, my they were basically guarding my stuff by Ball for a while, to the point where I had to defeat at least one of them just by punching them empty-handed.
Jesus.
It was a rough time. Could it have been easier if I wasn't such an idiot? Yeah, probably. But
There's
such is life.
I'm sure there's like some build or some shit you could have done to make it easier, but
No,
who's to say? Who knows?
we
Not me.
we don't do that here. We play stupid up in here.
Yeah.
Um,
Real average idiots over here.
so that was my another thing that I'll say is my projectile that only hurts undead. The
Hmm.
one reason I did keep it on hand is because also if you shoot it at your hireling, it
Oh
heals it.
yeah. Which is cool. That's a
Yeah.
cool like extra effect.
So at a certain point, especially fighting those ball guys at the end, I had him like be a wall in between me and one or two of the guys, and I stood behind him just casting my healing on him so that he could like tank longer than he was supposed to.
Mm.
And that's what it was like to be a paladin,
Yeah.
which at certain points very easy, and at certain other points of, uh-oh, did I mess up and I can't beat this game? But no, we beat the game, so
We did.
we did it.
Confirmed we both beat the game. I
Yeah,
saw
so
your credit scene.
yes. Yes. So what was it like being a druid?
So when you're a druid, you have like three different, like very different builds that you can do. You can shapeshift into basically a werewolf and then eventually a werebear, and then just do all the damage yourself. You can become basically a sorcerer where you're just casting spells and like it's all fire and wind based, so you're just like throwing out tornadoes and fire. Or you can do what I primarily did and just summon a shitload of animals.
That sounds very helpful.
It it was. It definitely was. Apparently, I looked it up after the fact. Apparently, the wind one is like the meta one. That's the one that if you want to go for the end game super hard shit, like that's the one you should be doing.
Mm.
But I didn't want to do all that.
Hmm,
I
hmm.
could have a dogs and
Yeah,
like
that's
a
true.
lot of them. Like by the time I was in, I think I had almost all of my summons by I don't know midway of Act 3, so like halfway through the Mayan world.
Hmm.
I was walking around with, so you get a little spirit guy who looks like a little jellyfish that makes it so that you and all of your, he has like an aura, and you and all of your other summons get like a boost to your health. Or there's other ones that boost other things, but I picked the health one. Um, you get a little vine guy who I don't think actually attacks, but he eats bodies when people die, and then that heals everyone.
That's
Heals the
cool.
whole party. And then you get 5 wolves, I think 4 dire wolves, and a bear.
Yeah.
And you can also have ravens, but the ravens like kind of suck. So I didn't really use them a lot. But so you're just walking around with like a ton of animals, and so you kind of just walk into rooms and wait for them to finish it for you. Like you have them do most of the work. I would still go in and like hit things with my weapon just to like have something to do. Um, and I had my hireling who, especially once I got the caster who was throwing out lightning bolts, like, I mean, he was the guy. He was the goat.
Mhm. Mm.
Uh, but yeah, I had like when I went over to your place and watched you play for a little bit, and it was just you and your hireling, and I was like, this is a different video game. This is
Yeah.
this is a very different game. It weirdly for both of us turned into I'm going to stand around until everyone in the room is dead. But very different games. Like you were alone the whole game
Yeah.
pretty much. It was like
No,
you and
it
one
was
homie.
it was scary out there.
It was, and I had my whole pack with me.
Yeah.
Which did help a lot. They split up obviously just like having everyone attack different monsters so you're not all constantly getting attacked by because the game will throw like 30 enemies at you at one time.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's sometimes you walk into a room and you're like the entire room is made out of monsters.
Oh yeah.
When you walk in there with the whole zoo crew, it's not that big of a deal because you're bringing the like the monsters with you, sort of.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now I can kind of understand why you came across some performance issues.
there
Why
was
the
a
game
lot
probably
going on.
slowed down a couple
I
frames.
had a little bit of frame drop, but honestly not too bad. Um, but yeah, and it was like they just I can't imagine trying to fight through that game as like the barbarian or something where you have to actually hit every single one of the monsters around you when there's hundreds of them all the time forever. Like trying to solo
Yeah.
as barbarian, maybe if you're playing online with a party of friends, maybe that's not crazy,
Mhm.
but solo barbarian sounds rough.
Yeah, I mean, as it was even with my magic aura, when you open a door and there's 40 guys that all immediately swarm around you and your one and only friend, it's just a lot of screaming until it stops.
It sounds like my
Just like,
love life.
okay, okay, we made it.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I really liked the druid, and it's funny because I don't know. Maybe they said something to you also, but I think because the druid was added in the expansion as a playable class, when you apparently they're from the same area as the barbarians in Act 5,
Oh,
but like I don't know if they're rivals or they're like were previously at war or something, but you walk in and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And then after you do a couple of the quests there, they're like, "Actually, you all right, dude. You can hang."
that's true. I think every area kind of treated me like that. You know,
Yeah.
there's the lady that you hire the mercenaries from in the first area where she's like, I'm not talking to you till you prove you're worth something, and then you
Right.
do
Yeah.
a quest and she's like, you know what, you're cool. And then every area at least had one person that you had to talk to that kind of treated you like shit until you did something. And they're like, actually, you are my best friend and you are invited to my birthday party.
Yeah. You don't even have to bring a gift. That's how
No,
close we are.
I'll bring you a gift on my birthday. That's
On
how cool
my
you are.
birthday. It does feel like the paladin is like the canon character though.
Yeah, that's why I went for it.
At least thematically. I guess I don't know narratively because the narrative is very thin. Which I looked at a lot of the reviews for this game and that was one of the major complaints was that the story was basically non-existent.
Yeah.
But just, you're going up against the undead and demons and you are the only holy man on the roster. You know what I mean? So it does feel like that's sort of what you're supposed to be doing, narratively speaking. I could justify mine a little bit as like, oh, I'm the forces of nature and the undead are unnatural or whatever.
Hmm.
But everyone else, it's like, I'm just a guy with a sword or I'm a
Yeah.
lady who throws
Why
fireballs.
why would an assassin want to deal with all this?
No idea. Yeah, literally no idea. Or a necromancer. You would think that they'd be on the side with the bad guys, if anything.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's classism or whatever.
Maybe.
I did have some complaints with the gameplay loop, which is maybe why I feel like I'm not going to come away liking this as much as the audience for this game liked it. And I think it's
Yeah.
for me because that loop gameplay that gameplay loop of going in, killing a bunch of things, getting items and then taking it and seeing like just making your number go up by like one or two every couple hours
Uh-huh.
really doesn't appeal to me at all. I really don't care for that. That doesn't the grind is never something that I'm going to enjoy in video games. I've tried. I've
Sure.
played a lot of games that are like that. This one I think makes it even a little bit more annoying. And the number one reason for that is because your inventory is so small. So you're going out and you're doing all this
Oh
loot
my
grinding
God.
and you can only pick up like 5 things.
Exactly.
So you have to either only pick up the things you actually like 100% need, which is tough to do because you have to like a lot of stuff is unidentified, so that you have to like identify it to find out if it sucks or not,
Yeah.
or just be constantly teleporting back and forth. So I ended up teleporting back and forth a lot, and then quickly found out that money is worthless. Like there's no point really in even having money. When you die, you lose
Hmm.
a shitload of it. You can put it in the
Hmm.
bank and have it for like buying items, but I almost never did. And the amount of money you can carry on your person is capped based on your level. So you can have like it's like roughly 1,000 gold per level.
I didn't even know there was a cap.
Yeah, I ran into that cap a lot. It got to the point where
Oh,
I would sell items and the money would go on the ground. It would just fall to the ground at my character's feet.
that's fantastic. Yeah, I think I did put money in the little bank, and I think the way that helps is you lose less when you die. Like you
Yeah,
can't lose what's in the bank; you can only lose what's in your person.
that might be. I think that's true. I
Um,
can't confirm it, but I think it's true.
and I did hoard a bunch of potions. You saw I had like one inventory
Yeah,
box that was entirely red potions and one inventory box that was entirely blue potions.
and then I
I
went
was like,
over
those are,
later, and they were all gone, and you're like, I didn't sell
oh
them.
yeah. Nope. I let me tell you, I came across some things. But yeah, especially I don't know if it's because I was playing with controller.
Mm,
I don't know if you play mouse and keyboard and you don't accidentally automatically pick up everything. Because like the button to attack is the same button to pick things up.
right.
So
Yeah.
like so constantly be like, oh, that looks like a good item. Oh, my inventory's full again, and it's just you have any old garbage that
Yeah.
you came
For
across.
some reason, I've picked up 4,000 arrows at some point.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I did give bow and arrow a shot at one point. I was like, okay, I've got this extra
Yeah.
loadout set. Let me put a bow here.
Sucks.
Worthless,
It's absolutely
garbage.
terrible. Unless you're
Not
the
touching it.
Amazon, because that's a weapon for
I'm
her.
sure that would help, but
Yeah.
I'm just never gonna play the Amazon.
Well, when the Amazon shoots, she shoots like 40 arrows in like a cone around her. So she does apparently some pretty good damage.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not. I also tried the bow a little bit. Wasn't feeling it. Didn't do it for me.
No,
Wasn't
get
for my
that out of
character. I
here.
don't think.
But yeah, just the amount of times where it's just like inventory's full, inventory's full, inventory's full. Oh my God. And then you have to like decipher like, do I want to keep that? Do I care about this? Do I just throw that on the ground? I could sell that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Just it
Well,
kind of just slowed the gameplay process a little bit. Just like, I'm full again.
right. That really made me think a lot too, because playing this in not to age this podcast episode, but playing this in 2025, this is a podcast game, right? You play this game and nothing really matters. The story isn't there. You're just hacking and slashing for
100%.
40 hours at a time. It is exactly the kind of game that you play while you're watching something else or listening to something
Hmm.
else or doing something
Hmm.
else.
Hmm.
Which makes me think, what the hell did they do while they were playing this in the year 2000? Podcast didn't exist, I don't think, in 2000.
Man, we didn't even have YouTube yet.
We didn't have streaming, so you just will have a TV on, just whatever was on TV. Were you just listening to
God.
music and like grinding?
Oh, music,
You
Napster.
you listening to yeah, you were listening to Metallica and running through hell for 40 hours a day?
I don't know. You got they didn't even have second screens probably.
I couldn't tell you, but I wouldn't think so. Not when the
Dude,
screens were the size, like I mean, think about the size of the screens in 2000. They were like the CRT ones.
you stack one giant box on top of the other,
Yeah,
and then you put a DVD of Happy Gilmore on the top one
right,
in the disc
right.
tray.
If you waited
Man,
long
I
enough,
don't
you'd get
know.
one for the Patriot, I guess. But
That's crazy. I can't. No.
like, I can't imagine playing this in the year 2000, especially because I was 6, so I definitely wouldn't have had the attention span to do this loot grind then.
No,
Uh,
100%.
But like,
And talking about the grinds as well, I do agree with you. The level cap on this is like 99 or 100, something like that.
right,
No way.
not a shot.
No way in
Never gonna
hell
happen.
am I do to what end?
Yeah,
Because you beat the game. I was probably like what, level 35 when I beat the game, something like
yeah,
that.
same.
Uh, what, you just go around and kill things for? I sorry for
Yeah.
everyone who's like takes pride in their level 100 character. That's just a waste of time,
So
man.
so I
Like the
actually wrote
game's done.
down what the quote unquote true end game of this is.
Oh, okay.
So, according to the fan base, this is what you have to do to truly beat the game. And we were never
All
going
right,
to do this. We
all
were
right. Listen,
never
fan
going to do
base.
this.
Before even hearing it, go fuck yourself. But
Honestly.
go ahead, hit me.
Honestly. And I love you. And please subscribe, but also go fuck yourself. So, to get the quote unquote true ending, you have to beat the game on hell difficulty. So, there's 3 difficulties. There's the
Okay.
one that we played, I assume, which is like normal, I think it's just called. And then it goes nightmare,
Yeah.
hell.
Sure.
All of
I
those
understand.
difficulties,
I understand being difficulty elitist. So
right.
All right, go ahead.
Those add a whole new mechanic. So I think once you hit like nightmare, I guess you ran into this on normal with your Kamehameha blast or whatever, but they started adding immunities. So certain enemies like won't take damage from fire or won't take damage from lightning or can only be hurt by physical attacks or whatever. So you beat the game on hell. Then you have to grind to level 99. Then usually while you're doing that, people will try and get certain items, build certain items. There's some sickos who do what's called a holy grail run, which is you have to find every single unique and set item, which I don't even know
Yeah.
where you would store them because I don't think you have enough storage for all that shit.
You just like check a box on a piece of paper that you wrote down.
That you
All right,
picked it
yeah, I
up at
got
some
it.
point.
You have
Yeah.
to trust me.
Did Excel exist in 2000? It must have.
Yeah,
Um,
it exists.
and like while you're doing that, you're trying to build to like specific items or specific runes or whatever. Apparently, 2 of the biggest, most powerful ones were called either Enigma or Death Fathom. I didn't really look up exactly what they were. They weren't applicable to me. I was never going to go for it. And then once you've done all that, then you go after the Uber bosses,
Oh, right.
which are harder versions of the normal bosses, basically.
Hmm.
So there's also like other bosses that you have to fight to get to them. So like you have to get 3 keys. There's the terror key, the hate key, and the destruction key, which those are the 3 like domains of the 3 greater evils. So like Diablo is terror, Baal is destruction, and Mephisto is hate, I guess. To get them, you have to kill certain enemies over and over again and hope that it drops. Because there's like a special summon called the Hell Countess, and she has like a 1 in 14 chance to drop this key.
Hmm.
And then that's true of all the other ones. There's like the whatever. You fight these guys, you get these keys. Then you put them in the cube, and the cube makes a portal. The Heradric cube, which we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
You get a little box and you make stuff with it. That's it.
Yeah. And those open 3 different portals where you go and you fight. One of them's Lilith, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure that's the main villain from Diablo 4. Could be wrong, but I think that's true. And then the other 2 are like a reskin of Duriel, the final boss from Act 2, the like little weird slug guy. And the third one I don't remember. But you go and you fight them, and then you get organs that are from the bosses. So you get like, I think it's like Mephisto's brain or Diablo's eye or whatever. Then you put all of them into the box, and it opens a portal to the town of Tristram, which you went to at one point in the first act of the game with the different little. There was like the stone circle, and you had to hit the things in the right order. And then you went to,
Yeah.
But you're going there before it's destroyed, which is apparently somehow when these 3 bosses were way stronger than they are now, even though 2 of them shouldn't have existed at that time, but whatever. And those are the Uber versions of the bosses, and they are incredibly hard. And once you've beaten them, then you can say that you've beaten Diablo 2. So we didn't beat Diablo 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I did though. I beat Diablo 2. I rolled credits and I beat all the acts. So
well, take it up with Jimmy Diablo in the comments because he's coming for us.
But here's what I'll say to you, Jimmy Diablo. I'll actually rescind my go fuck yourself because I'm not gonna do all of that was just said.
Yeah.
but it sounded a little cooler than I was expecting.
It's yeah,
Um,
it's more than just I'm gonna kill the same enemies 4,000 times until I get to level
yeah,
99, but
the
it's not
fact
a
that
lot more.
there was like a going to get keys to unlock special content. That's cool. It actually is cool. It's very Blizzard.
For sure.
Um,
100% it's a Blizzard thing.
and so because of that, I'll rescind my go fuck yourself. But I did beat this game. Don't be an asshole.
Oh, man. But yeah, so there was no shot that I was going to do that, especially not for this recording, that I wasn't going to put in the extra like multiple hundred hours. I was watching videos of people going for the Ubers, or like people
Hmm.
who have played this game basically since it came out,
Hmm.
who there were certain items that were dropped and they're like, that's the first time I've ever seen that item. And that's kind of cool if you are into just grinding loot for your entire life.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
So
I mean, maybe that's because we are in the year 2026. I'll reveal we're recording this after the new year.
right.
Um,
We played it in 2025, but
we played it in 2025, but we're in 2026 now. But like, there are other things to do. There are other, games to become obsessed with, and other. Diablo 2 can't be my whole life, man.
not a shot. I didn't like
Um,
it enough for that,
es-
unfortunately.
Especially as a grown adult with other responsibilities and
I got a
everything. So,
job.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got to pay
So,
rent.
so, but that is cool for all those heroes that played this in the year 2000 and did all that stuff. That's what a commitment. Congratulations, my hat's off to you. You were the king of hell.
Way to go.
Um, but I still beat the game. I beat the game. I rolled credits.
I We did it. We had a good time. That's what it
Mhm.
was. I should say, because I was gonna say before, and then I just like must have gone off on a tangent and forgotten. So you were talking about your hardest fight. Mine was Diablo,
Yeah,
because he has a lot of area effects that do 1,000,000
yeah,
damage. So he was just constantly killing my dogs like within seconds. And so that fight
yeah.
for me was summon all my guys, run in, have them fight for like 10 seconds, run
Hmm.
away, summon them all back,
Hmm.
run back in. It took, I think, maybe an unbroken hour to beat him.
Yeah, my fight against Diablo, which I will definitely say was the second hardest fight I had to
It's
do.
tough. It's a tough one.
The hardest boss fight for sure. It was I because you have to like open those gates to get him to show up, and every time a
Right.
gate is opened, a bunch of enemies pour out, and you fight them and whatever. So, the second I opened the last gate and killed those enemies, and then you kind of just stumble to the left, and there's Diablo. She's like, "Oh,
Uh
okay, hey
oh.
buddy, what's up?"
I was not prepared
Um,
for you.
and he basically tore through me in like one move,
He's
me
very
and
strong.
my hireling. And it was at that point where I was like, okay, I'm not going to bother with the hireling because I'm just going to be going back and rehiring, bringing him back to life over and over again,
Right.
paying all that money. Fuck it, I'm just going to run in and see what I can do. And it was running from him, having my aura do its damage, occasionally run up behind him, smack him in the little tush, run away. Oh crap, he caught me. I'm done. Go
Hmm.
back, do it all over again. And I probably died fighting him like 5, 6 times. Um, but got it done.
We got it. We did. We got it there. Man, I do want to talk about the story just a little bit more.
Hmm.
Um, how did you how did you feel about the ending? Because didn't like it.
The ending of
Of Act
Act
Five.
4 of Act 5.
Yeah, the like actual ending, I would say.
We killed Ball, the third brother, and then
Hmm.
the narrator was like, "You got them. They might come back one day." Is that what else happened?
So you kill Ball, and
Yeah.
then it turns out somehow that he's not really dead. Maybe there's like a afterwards they show you a cutscene of him, because there's this ongoing plot thread of what is presumed to be after the fact, where a guy is talking to a prisoner,
Yeah.
and then at the end it's revealed, it is thought through the whole game that he's this angel called Tyrael, but it
Yeah.
turns out he's not. He's actually Ball in disguise. And
Yeah.
then he like gets the stone from the like soul stone or whatever from the prisoner who I guess still had it despite being in prison and then escapes. So it's like, is he not dead? I'm confused on the order of things here. But then
No, because
also
that
Tyrael.
cut. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, you do yours first.
I was gonna say that cutscene of Ball being like, "I'm here, I'm not Tyrael, haha," and then he kills that guy. That was before Act 5, so then you go and fight him, right? I thought that's what happened.
Couldn't tell you. I honestly don't remember. But one of the actual like very last things that happens is that Tyrael, who's been a useless asshole the whole fucking game,
Yeah.
he's this big cool angel guy with like light ribbons coming off him that kind of look like wings.
Hmm.
And he keeps being like, you got to go out there and fight him. You, a guy with a couple of dogs. Me, cool angel with magic armor. I'm going to stay here and do nothing ever.
All right, dude.
Okay, brother. Hey, you want to give me some of that god magic you got? At the very end, he's like, Ball touched the world stone too much. I gotta break it. It's gonna make it so that all the demons come through anyway, which is like what the Ball was trying to do, I guess.
Oh,
But if I
right.
do it this way, it'll be less than it was. All you humans might die, but that's not really my problem. What?
Right.
Sir, you dicked around for 4 acts, and now you want to show up and doom the earth because something that I don't like.
And
Is he supposed to be like kind of evil? Because he comes across as maybe the actual villain.
he's an archangel, right? So he's a dick for sure.
He's an asshole.
But yeah, I don't know. I assume that all the answers to that would be play Diablo 3.
Maybe. Yeah.
But
I don't
we're
know.
a ways off from that.
I know that Tyrael is like one of the mainstay characters of the franchise. It's like him and Diablo basically.
That would make sense.
So I'm confident that he's in the other shit. I know for a fact that he's in one of the trailers for Diablo 4. I remember seeing him there. So he's around, but he's what an asshole. What a useless piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I
You
don't know.
definitely didn't do anything.
Just made me real mad that he like there's one bit where he's like in act 4, he's hanging out with Decker Kane, who's just some old fucker that you save from a cage.
Yeah.
Who says Heradric Cube in like a kind of funny way.
Yeah.
He's just hanging out in this like castle that's the last bastion of heaven and hell or something. Just standing there doing dick ass shit. And he's like, all right, go fight hell. And you're like, I'm just a guy. Maybe for you it made more narrative sense being a paladin. For me, just a guy.
That's true. That is true. I had to listen to him because it was my job.
You were like,
I don't. Yeah.
wow, who would have thought that we'd be here? Not me.
Hmm.
Ugh. I've got
No,
some.
I think Ball's dead is what I was gonna say.
He must be. He must
We
be.
got him.
But I don't know, man. Who's to say? But Skyler, I got some trivia for you.
Mm-hmm.
So this game, as we talked about before, was made by Blizzard, specifically Blizzard North. It was led by its head designer was a guy called David Brevik, who previous to this worked on not a lot, obviously Diablo 1 and also NBA Jam, weirdly enough.
Hey, cool.
He's possibly not a great guy.
Oh, well.
So but it also had 2 project leads that were, I think, brothers called Eric and Max Schaefer. And they took 3 years to make this game, which feels like a fast turnaround. It was longer than they wanted it to be. They thought it was going to come out in like 98 or 97 even, but development started late and then was also taking really slow because they didn't know what the game was going to be when they started making it. They were just like, we'll just make more Diablo. And they like didn't really think any of it through until they were mid development.
I haven't played Diablo 1, but I assume that they just did make more Diablo, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
How different could it be?
It's very much the same. But of those 3 years, 1.5 years were in forced crunch hours.
Oh, great.
So literally half of this development was in a forced crunch era.
Fantastic.
Brevik blames the game's crunch culture on the fact that he had just divorced his wife and that he had a bad relationship with his 2 daughters, which means now you have to be his family employees. He can't go home, so you can't either, I guess.
Dude, that's You just gonna say that? You're just gonna say it like, yeah, well, my family left me, but you can't because I pay you.
I don't think he said that last part, but yeah, basically. He does. He is the person who blames the crunch culture on that. Like him specifically. It's not other
It's
people interpreting it.
you can't blame That's crazy. Is that one of the first instances of people being like, "Yeah, we're doing an awful thing here, but I mean, what can you do? I was going through a rough time."
It's certainly the first we've talked about, but I can't imagine that this is the first time people have sucked in the games industry.
No, well,
Um,
certainly.
Brevik was also much later in like 20, I think it was like 2018, part of a quite large sexual misconduct lawsuit at Blizzard, during
Right.
which time he lost his job.
Okay. Was he like a primary name in this? Obviously, I remember this.
He was called
Um,
in. He was not charged with anything, but he was named as like one of the perpetrators. It was never
just the
proven, so it's still technically allegedly, but
because like Blizzard had just like a general culture of being
awful.
really fucking bad.
Yeah.
And was he like, "Hey, what can you do? My wife's a bitch."
Ah, my wife left me, baby. He was also the thing that he
That's
was
his
specifically
excuse.
called in for, and it's unclear the timetable on this to me.
Hmm.
But it is presumed that he was cheating on his wife with somebody from the office. Um,
Hmm.
he did eventually end up marrying one of his employees from. Uh, I don't remember if the employee worked on Diablo 2, but a person from Blizzard. So,
Hmm. We're
um,
doing great so far. We're batting 1,000.
we're doing
What else
great.
does this guy do?
He now owns an indie studio called Graybeard Games, and I looked them up, and every game that they are showing looks like actual shit. Looks really
Oh,
bad. It looks like Flash games.
oh, cool.
So he is living in just absolute obscurity now.
Well, that's good.
One more not great piece of trivia. We do have good ones. I promise we have good ones. But
Okay.
one more bad piece of trivia. So, in the original release of this game, the Skellington Man, who is on the cover,
Hmm.
had a hole in his forehead. Don't get ahead of me. He used to have he was supposed to have a hole in his forehead, and they took it out. When they released the
Hmm.
game, he no longer had the hole in his forehead because of Columbine. They didn't want it to look
Oh,
like he had been shot in the head,
oh my
so they
God.
took the hole out of the Skellington's head. You will
Okay.
note, fans of the Diablo series, the the remake version returned the hole to the Skellington's head.
Yeah, we've had enough time to be over it.
Yeah, we've
It's
solved
fine.
school shootings.
Well, when you put it that way,
We
never
have
mind.
cured school shootings. They've never happened since.
Uh,
Can you believe it?
wow. Okay.
They claim that the hole in his forehead was supposed to be because that character is supposed to be the Dark Wanderer, who is Diablo's vessel, and apparently that's the hole from where he like put Diablo's soul stone into his head. But also, no, it's fucking not, because we
Game
see
doesn't
that
show
character in the
that.
game. He doesn't have a hole in his forehead. He's also
Uh,
a flesh and bone, like a fleshy skin man.
yeah.
So that's not it. That's not him. That's a different
He,
guy. I don't know what to tell you. If that was supposed to be the guy, one of them you messed up.
wow. Okay. I was gonna say very much in it's like when we couldn't show the Tentacruel knocking down the building
Right.
because of 9/11. But you're right. School shootings haven't stopped.
If
So
the reasoning was we don't want it to look like a person got shot because of a school shooting, we didn't win. I mean, they've only gotten worse since then.
yeah, what? So was the thought process like, well, we're just used to it now, so whatever.
Honestly, probably they didn't even think about it.
Well, no, somebody thought about it because they were like, we're putting the fucking hole back in this
We're,
time.
then this time he's getting the hole in his face.
Yeah,
We
the
need
the
it.
hole that the Columbine took away from us.
Yeah. Can you
They're
believe
not taking
woke
it this time.
Columbine stole our forehead hole?
What's going on here?
I don't know, man. Here's some good pieces of trivia. Are you ready to be slightly happier?
Yes.
The original collector's edition of this game was actually released with a Diablo themed Dungeons and Dragons campaign setting.
Oh, that's cool. Now you're winning me over.
There we go, baby. Just like that, we forgot about Columbine. There's
Just
also
like that.
this is probably the most famous piece of trivia from this game. The secret cow level. Are you familiar with the secret cow level?
The secret cow level.
The secret cow level.
I did not find a secret cow level,
No, you wouldn't.
nor
You would not
nor am
without a
I
guide.
nor am I familiar with no. What is this?
So when Diablo 1 came out, there was a rumor for a long time that there was a secret cow level or
Why?
something. I don't know. I really don't. It was one of those things where it just got spread around on playgrounds. There's a Mew under the
Uh,
golf under the truck, and there's a secret cow level in Diablo 1. That it
uh,
was uh
if you play for a million hours, you can unlock Goku and Smash Brothers.
right. And sometimes you can
Yeah,
get Lara Croft to take out her boobs.
that's true. That one is true.
Um so then this joke sort of progressed until one of the like cheat codes that you could use in StarCraft was called like you had to type in there is no cow level. That was and like that's how you got some bonus or whatever in the game. And then in this one they just said, "All right, we'll make a cow level." And so there's a thing, a bunch of steps, whatever. You make another portal like when you're fighting the Ubers, but you go to a place where there's just a bunch of cows walking around on their hind legs and carrying big ass axes, and they will kick the shit out of you. They are apparently one of the better places to grind levels. So most of the time when people are grinding up to 99, they'll do a lot of it there.
Looking at footage of this now,
Yep, there she is,
and
baby.
this is what a thing to
What
exist.
a fun
How
time.
fun.
And you
Yeah.
can believe we wouldn't have gotten that if his wife hadn't left him.
That's true. If he hadn't forced his employees to work triple overtime for probably no less pay, um, to make the secret cow level. It's a funny meme. They'll love it.
It's a funny joke. They'll like my
You
funny
don't.
joke.
I am your family now.
I'm your dad. And the last piece of trivia I got here, the the original heroes from Diablo 1 are all in this game, and they all got super fucked up.
Oh,
So in the original version of Diablo 1, there is only 3 playable characters. They added 3 more in a DLC. They are not, to my knowledge, present in this game. Uh, but the original 3 were the warrior, the rogue, and the sorcerer. The sorcerer became that it's called like the corrupt summoner or some shit. It's the one that you fight in the dungeon underneath the palace in Lut-Gholein, the Egyptian place.
okay.
He's the final boss that's holding the tome that you need to get into the temple that has Duriel in it.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about? There's like
yeah,
a tome on a pedestal and there's a bunch of like symbols on the wall.
yeah.
He's the guy you fight there. This has been
Oh,
confirmed through a series of books and interviews and shit. The rogue, the girl,
mhm.
she became a boss that you are asked to kill in Act 1. She became Blood Raven, who is the one that you fight
in in
outside of
the
the catacomb,
yeah
whatever the
the
fuck, the
graveyard,
cathedral.
whatever. Hmm.
It's also, I don't know if this is 100% true. I think it is. Diablo 1 took place entirely within a cathedral where you just went deeper and deeper and deeper into hell. I think it's probably that same cathedral.
Hmm.
So that I don't know.
Interesting.
And the warrior got the most dunked on. They all got
Oh,
corrupted, but he got the most corrupted because he is canonically the player character from the first game. So he is the one who killed Diablo and became the Dark Wanderer. So he's the guy who you're if you played the warrior in game 1, in game 2, your character sucks and dies,
so
which I don't love.
when he killed Diablo, then Diablo Columbined his way into his head.
He like killed Diablo and then they were like, "Well, we have to put the stone somewhere where it won't be able to corrupt someone else."
Just shoves it into his own
So he
brain.
put it into his own head, I guess. And then it didn't work. And then he became Diablo.
Well, dude, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
You should have done that.
I mean, yeah. So hey, a lot of fun times here were had in hell. Skyler, using our patented
Yes.
review system, how do you feel about Diablo 2?
Well, this is a good game, and I did have fun playing it. It's gonna get a good score. I'm just debating. When I finished playing it, I was like, yeah, this was good. It felt fun, good atmosphere, everything. I was leaning towards like, yeah, this seems like an easy 8 out of 10, which would make all the Diablo fans happy.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like 2 weeks ago when I rolled credits on this. Had some time to think about some of the things that do piss me off playing this.
Right.
So I'm wondering about dropping it. I wouldn't drop it lower than a 7.5 though, I don't think.
I think that's probably fair.
I think this is it gets a thumbs up for me either way. I'm just trying to decide where I'm sitting on it. I think a 7.5 sounds right. What about you?
I agree for the most part. I'm definitely a little bit lower on it just because I don't think it does enough. I think
Hmm.
what it does pretty well. I think there's a lot of depth in what you can build your character into being, but then when you get
Hmm.
to the gameplay of those choices, it all kind of looks the same. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't know. And I found the actual combat to be really boring, even when I wasn't just walking around having dogs kill everything. When I was early doors having to like fight stuff with my own two hands, wasn't really having a
Hmm.
fun time with it. So I think I'm at a 7 flat because I do think it does everything it sets out to do. I think it does perfectly fine. I think it does a good enough job with those things. I just need it to do more to like call it great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. I think it misses the mark on being a personal great game for me because of at the end of the day, it is just a straight line of, slashing away at guys and picking up way too much garbage and then selling the garbage or dropping the garbage and then you get the boss fights. I think the strength of this game is its atmosphere, and that's what almost carried it to an 8 for me, but I do think personal preferences will drop it to a 7.5. And if you put it at a 7, that aggregates out to a 7.25.
7.25. Not too bad. Not great, but not too bad.
Um, which, puts it up against a couple other games in our list. So we have three other games that are all 7.25s. And
Okay.
in order from highest to lowest ranking, we have Resident Evil Code Veronica, Deus Ex, and Mario Party 2.
Is that highest to lowest or lowest to highest? I know you just said
That's
it.
high. That's highest to lowest.
Okay.
So I think I would definitely put this below Code Veronica.
I agree. I think would also put it below Deus Ex because I think Deus Ex does more that's impressive for its
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
As far as personal enjoyment, I feel like that's a coin toss for me. But Deus
Same.
Ex does
Yeah.
have a lot more going on in its
Yeah.
defense.
I
So
walked away a lot more impressed by Deus Ex, even though I didn't enjoy it much more. Uh, it's just it is more impressive to me. Yeah.
and then uh Mario Party 2.
I
I
mean, I
mean,
liked
that's
Mario Party
also
too, but
it also comes away with the same kind of thing of just like it's simple. It does what it wants to very well.
right.
Um,
I
does
I would have a
Diablo
tough time
2 do
separating those.
more?
I would say my inclination is to put Diablo above Mario Party 2, but I
Hmm.
don't feel strongly enough that if you feel differently to fight you on it at all. But I just feel that way because Mario Party 2, I don't know if that is considered like one of the better Mario parties, whereas Diablo 2 is the one that like by and large people tell me that Diablo 2 is the best Diablo.
Yeah. Mario Party 2 does not have a secret cow level.
True, but it does have cowboy hats.
Damn it.
So
Uh,
they were kind of cute cowboys costumes. You know what I mean? So truly, I could go either way on it.
let's keep Diablo 2 strictly because it almost made an 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay,
We're going to put that above Mario Party 2.
I think that's fair. I think it's a fair way to think of it.
Do you want to run down what our top 10 is right now, currently? Maybe, like, as the list expands, we should probably just keep refreshing
Sure. Yeah, I
any
don't think.
listeners on what we've got going on.
Yeah, I don't know that we need to do it every episode, but definitely every so often. Yeah.
Okay, So at number 10, this is all just the year 2000.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 3,
Okay.
then Dead or Alive 2 at number 9. Number 8 is Mario Party 2. We've established that 7 is Diablo 2, 6 is Deus Ex, and 5 is Code Veronica.
Nice.
Number 4, we've got Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Sick.
Number 3 is Perfect Dark. Number 2 is Legend of Mana. And our number 1 game of the year right now is Legend of Dragoon.
I feel happy with that. I feel like pretty much all of those games are like legendary titles. You know what I mean?
We've got some real heaters in here.
Which we loved, but has been
Hey.
forgotten in the sands of time.
No, we're bringing this back.
We're bringing it back.
We need to get to a point that we can will an HD remake into existence.
There were rumors a couple years back, but I think they died.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, if you want a Legend of Dragoon remake, not what this video is about, but you can tell us all about it in the comments below on YouTube or Spotify. They both have comments, and we would love to hear from you. You can follow the show on Twitter at @RSR_POD. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McGee.
You can follow me on Blue Sky at Skyler8bit.
And until next time, everybody, play more games.
Play more games.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels right. Press play, take a trip back in time where pixels and memories